Boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Sink the Bismarck with me, Wolf 190D. Alrighty. And as always, folks, just a friendly reminder here at the start, if you are enjoying the content, if you have been tagging along through this entire adventure, you haven't done so yet, please feel free to give us a like, a subscribe, a follow. It does help the channel grow. It appeases those algorithm gods. Make your supplications now, please. Anyway, on with today's show. So, last episode we had started yet another invasion on Scotland. We haven't got our fleets into position yet, but we are also starting to complete our new V-73 type destroyers, and I think we've got about 12 of them in service right now, though more are on the way. And actually, does remind me, I got about another 19,200 tons, give or take, 19,200 tons. Are we ready for a new battleship design? Not really. We're building the Helgolands. So let's go ahead and oh yeah, we had also built the new Magdeburg class light cruisers last time. They're coming in 9 months. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and stack up some more V-73s. We're going to build 6 of those, and we are also going to build another Magdeburg. All right. Hopefully that doesn't overload our fleet capacity, which it does not. Okay, good. So first and foremost, that third Magdeburg, we're going to go ahead and launch that at Tsingtao. All right, if we can find it. And then these new V-73s, going to go ahead and launch 2 of those also in Tsingtao, and the rest of them will come out in Pillau. Okay. So, launching new ships. We've got an ambush here. We've got 7 destroyers. German Empire. The Swedes. Okay, the Swedes are joining with the V1 there. And he's got 2 light cruisers, the Thames and the Boudica class light cruisers. All right, let's go ahead and get at him. Our destroyers are rather hungry. Now, let's go ahead and pause this real quick. Okay. 4 here. These guys, no, I don't want you to screen. I want you guys to retreat. And go this way. And we're going to slow y'all down. Why is their speed limited? Why? And I want these guys to hide right now. Okay, so there we go. And There again, I don't know why their default was to start at low speed. Better be careful, we're gonna run into our own torpedoes here. Oh, good grief. I did that too. Wow. Nope, he's done. Jesus, that little guy is tough. He's eating torpedo after torpedo after torpedo. Man, that took a little while. Okay, that takes care of that. And we can move on to our next turn. Now, we still are at negative 8 million, but that's a darn sight better than what we were at previously, which I think we were at like negative 20 or something like that at one point. No, I do want to fight to the end. I do want to try to at least capture Scotland before we declare peace. Portugal wants to order 3 of the Ariadnes. No, we can't. We can't. Not really. Persia wants to buy the V1. That's fine by me. And then we also have some destroyers up in Danzig, I do believe, to go ahead and clear out as well. Yes, we do. We put him on defend, and we go ahead and put him on defend. And then zoop and zoop. Okay. Been actually clearing out those old V1s. So let's see here. Okay. So Plymouth has a pair of destroyers sitting tight. Helgoland has some V21s and a pair of V45. So let's go ahead and move these ships. We're going to move these V45s over here and deal with that torpedo boat. And let's see here, move ships. We got these old V21s. Let's do something with these V21s. Let's move these V21s down to Port Sudan. Okay, it's V21, 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 V21. All right, so that's 5. 5 of those. And we'll move them down there. All right, so they'll cut on down. And what we can do now is out of Pilau, we can move all 4 of these V73s up there to Lerwick, and not the ship, not the fleet, not the task force. All right, we got a 32% chance of success with 397,000 tons. The rest of the tonnage must be buried. Part of it has to be those light cruisers that I still have there. Speaking of which, the one that went to Dover, we'll go ahead and set him on defend, and the one in Port Sudan actually also needs to be, and it's not tight enough there. Maybe one day if we own southern Egypt, but nonetheless, okay. Battleships sailing without their surface fleet. Bad idea, Britain. Sorry about that. Okay. Small guns are coming up. Okay, and I think we're good to actually end the turn again. Give me just a second, folks. Okay. And yes, we managed to corner the torpedo boat there in the North Sea. Historically, it seems that the Russian torpedo boats, or destroyers even, were very, very favoring of their torpedo tubes. I don't know how long this battle's going to last, because quite frankly, that little torpedo boat here is rather severely outgunned. And we really kind of are in cleanup mode right now. I mean, it's just a matter of isolating the rest of I'd kind of like to leave the United States alone for the time being. At least try to see if they can't build up. When we were at war with them, remember their designs were actually superior to the British designs. We'll keep our formation a little tight. We don't want them closing the gap, though, is the thing. And there they are. Ooh. Yeah, well, there's the problem is he hits us. We hit him a lot harder. He's just a torpedo boat. Now, Korea has signed an alliance with Britain, and the Japanese are provoking us again. Oh, Spain gained control of Honduras. Okay. So Spain is actually making a little bit of headway. So let's see if we can't leave Spain alone. I don't really want to declare war on Spain. I don't want to go to war with Spain. Actually, we're on really good terms with the Spanish right now anyway. The United States, though, it looks like we might... Wait a second. Oh, no, that's Spain's relation with the United States. Everybody else is kind of on really good. The Chinese are allied with us. The Italians are allied with it. The Russians are at 91. So yeah, we're on good terms with most of the rest of the world. They're probably terrified. I mean, you know, our naval my naval prestige is 3,128. It probably means that myself as the head of the Navy has a lot of say in global affairs like that. So anyhow, why is it doing that? That's weird. Danzig has a couple of mothballed destroyers. And let's track down the rest of these V1s. Because, let's see here, the West Indian Ocean. No, those are 21s. Where are the rest of the V1s? Southeast Asia, West Africa. Ah, West Africa. Okay. I don't know if I can get any of the other ones down there right now, but yeah, it'll be all right. Okay, so those are 45s. Those are 45s. I think both of those are 45s. Yes? Yes, okay. These are 73s. And let me see here. The Ariadnes, they're all at sea right now, and most of them are in the North Sea. One of them's in the West Indian Ocean. One of them's at West Africa. Okay. We can leave those Ariadnes alone for now. Yes, research. What are we coming up with? The Mark III 3-inch guns. So that means our 88s. We can upgrade our 88s to Mark III status before too much longer. Now, battleships. What do we want to do with the Prince Regent Luitpold? Here we are 5 years after they've been built. They're still serving really well, but I think the thing to do, let's see here. What are they armed with? They're armed with 4.1s. The Siegfrieds went up to 5.9s. These are built on the small dreadnought too, so that's part of the issue. Let's see here, 4 twin 11s. Let's take a look at the Prince Regent Luitpolds. Let's take a look at those. Because they don't have they're not going to have a need for waiting for the 88s. We could wait for the 105s, but you know, honestly, we might even just upgrade these to 150 millimeter or even 6-inch. We might even be able to upgrade to 6-inch casements. So let's see where these are. They're Mark IIs. So we could theoretically upgrade these to Mark IIIs. And, boy, double check real quick. This is something I need to get better about myself. Let's see if we've got an upgrade on our Mark, our 11-inch guns rather. Because we can superimpose now. So what we could do actually is take the side firing pair and reorganize the ship. We could reorganize this ship in a way that's going to move the side firing pair to superimposed fore and aft. We could do that. It might cheapen the ship up a little bit. It might make it less expensive. We'll have to see. Big guns. Let's see here. Yes, we do have Mark III 11-inch guns now. So let's check in on this design. These are 11s. We could upgun them to 11.1s, which I think technically 11.1-inch was what the German standard was at the time. I think. Don't quote me on that, though. Let's see here. We know the Mark IIs are going to get upgraded. And actually, the 11s are also going to receive the benefits of an upgrade. So let's do this. Now, if we move to multiple expansion 2s and look at that, the cost has already gone down about 2 million. If we go up to multiple expansion 2s, that puts us back there. Those are induced. It's still induced draft boilers. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to remove the side firing pair. We're going to tighten up. We're going to tighten up and relocate these funnels. Okay, tighten up the superstructure, roughly about the center of the ship. Okay, and then here's what we do. We go with a barbette. Now, barbette selection, what do we want? That's going to be 48, that's going to be 51, that's going to be 50. Do we want really, really, really good medium superimposed barbette? Do we just want to go baseline? Let's go baseline first, see what we get. Okay, that gives us a super firing pair on the stern. Now, what we're trying to see here is what's it going to take to get another super firing pair on the forward end. Okay, if we put that there, we cannot put that there, so this has to move forward a little bit more. Oh, good grief! It's going to be like that. Okay, so here's what we do. We figure out where can we stick that. Okay, now we just bump this back and bump it back. Oh, won't go there. So it looks like right there. And then we just tuck this one in right on the front end of that. Okay, now what we can do is we can jimmy this back a little bit. Okay. Oh, come on, Jack. Okay, put that there, and then we can put that there. Okay, that'll tighten that up. And then we just, Wow, that actually is able to go over top of that rear, No, see, it's too far aft now. Let's go back forward. Go back to the 4. Back to the 4. Bring this forward. Okay, now we're at a forward offset of 0.4, which, if we take this... Alright. Now the question does become... And we want I want hydraulic steering. I don't want to go to electric. Not fully anyway. Alright, now let's see here. We might have room actually for some side guns now. Some smaller caliber side guns. Or what we can do is we can just upgrade these to 5.9s or even 6s. Or we can leave them at 401s and put a pair of twin 5.9s or something for secondaries. In this area, but let's fart around with this some more first. So Citadel 1, reinforced bulkheads. We're going to want a double bottom. We're going to want to keep anti-torp. We're going to want barbette number 2. We want to go to Krupp armor on this, which is going to further lighten it up. Oh yes, she's going to be very, very mean when we're done with her. Okay, that's a coincidence. We went actually to switch over to stereoscopics. Because battleships, I tend to like to have them better at much longer range engagements. All right, so gun cotton. What happens if we go to picric acid number 2? I kind of like to put picric acid on my larger ships. I've been playing around with that, and I've really liked the results. Though the problem, of course, is penetration. So, here's the trade-off. If we go to TNT, we get a damage of 452. And let's say at 15,000 meters, we want decent penetration at about 12 and a half to 15,000 meters. That's actually going to get us there on the penetration, I think, 13 inches. Though, there again, I haven't set my my stuff to higher armor values. That can be really tricky, actually. And we've got a .98 on the reload, which is in part because we're using 11L50s. So let's go enhanced reloading. We're going to go with electro-hydraulic turrets. Actually, we're going to upgrade that. We were using white powder. Let's upgrade also to ballistite. Okay. Standard shell size, standard AP shells is going to give us, actually it's going to give us a lot of penetration. So let's see what we get if we do picric acid with capped shells. It's 460, so it's slightly better damage. And the penetration actually is a lot higher. What if we go to standard AP with TNT? It's like 10 less, and then we lighten up the shells. It's going to give us 412. Don't really want to do that, do we? So let's go with capped. Let's go with picric acid number 2. It's going to increase the flammability of the ship a little bit, but hey, this ship is actually way over armored. For what we're trying to do, it's way over armored. 13 inches on the main belt is much more than any of the British ships are going to be able to handle right now, I think. Okay, so for the 4.1s, the 1.9s, we definitely want to. Okay, they're maxed out. The 4.1s, let's see, we can bump them up another 2.5%. I think 7.5% is the max length. So what we're going to do is right out of the core here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up a 5.9 with max length barrel. That's 107. And a 6-inch barrel, also at max length. Now, let's see what each of these guns are going to do side by side. So the 4.1s are 15. Well, let's look at the 5,000 meter range. 1.3 to 1.6, 1.8 to 2.3, and 1.8 to 2.2. 286, 309, but the weight offset on those 5.9s is what's concerning. But the 5.9 is a superb. It's proven to be a very, very effective secondary battery. So let's go ahead and upgrade these guys to 5.9s. All right, we're going to go ahead with 5.9s. Put 5.9s in. Put 5.9s in. Put 5.9s in. Okay. That gets us up to 97%. Now, the nice thing about having super firing turrets and eliminating those side main batteries is that what we can do is we can take our secondary guns, and what I'm going to do is, do I want to add 88s? Well, we're not ready for 88s yet, I guess. I mean, theoretically we could. It'd be a better rate of fire. 5,000 meters, we've got 1 to 1.3. 5,000 meters, we've got 1 to 1.3. What's the difference in rate of fire? 484 to 751. You know, and this is where maybe I should have waited, because I didn't stop to consider the secondary battery, the addition of a secondary battery. And what we can actually do, is we can put a pair on each side. So what we can, let me see here. Let's put this one right here, and put this one. Put that one right there. That gives us a slight aft offset, which is okay. But we do have a pair of 88s now, or at least they're going to be 88s. Let's see here, that, and the length of the barrels, we're going to go ahead and pop those out like that, and there we go. We have also now a pair of 88s. So this is actually getting into the more modern era. This is actually a really good philosophy, is to have your main battery, of course, and then 3 different calibers on your secondary battery. That's going to be about a really good setup for a modern type of ship. And this is in part our modernization process. So we want 2 inches on top of those turrets, and we're going to go ahead and max out the 88 at 4.3 inches. Do we want to oversize? What happens if we upgun those by another 1/10 of an inch and give them 11.1s? We get into really bad over-penetration, I think. And there again, Glockable, appreciate you stopping by, appreciate the commentary, but I don't want to pay for my viewership. I'm not going to get into that. So anyway, thank you, but no thank you. Okay, let's see here. We don't have high capacity HE shells yet. That's kind of a bummer, kind of a drag, but nonetheless, 77 million. So the ship is a little bit more expensive. We did upgrade our multiple expansion steam engines. We're still keeping the maintenance down somewhat, but this is I would say it's going to be quite an effective upgrade to the ship itself. Now, what do I want to do the next one? The next one I might actually upgun to 12s. We'll have to see. We will have to see. What happens if I drop these down to light? I mean, we get back up to a good rate of fire. We get 102. So we're back into 1 round per minute. 12, 8, and 11, 3. I mean, that's actually not bad, and we can always close the gap. But let's go ahead and we'll try this. So we'll try 11.1s with light shells, capped AP, and picric acid number 2. Because, and again, this is going to make it pretty effective, actually, at mid-range anyhow, which, generally speaking, I think the German ships were more designed for volume of fire at closer range, though they used stereoscopic rangefinders historically. If you look up ship statistics, the German ships tend to use stereoscopic rangefinders over the coincidence was more of a British. Do I want to upgrade that rear deck tower? Do I want to upgrade the rear deck tower? Because right now we're at 4 months on a refit. That's getting a little excessive. For what I like for refits anyway. But then again, how often are we planning on doing this? The ship comes in at under 20,000 tons, so it's not like we don't have the space for it right now. The only other thing we could do is upgrade the steam turbines and remove one of these funnels. I mean, that would be good, but that's going to add a lot more time to the refit. Do we want to? Let's see here. If we're redeck, if it's a rear deck. No, Jesus Christ, it's a rear deck number 1. 6 aim speed, 6.5 aim speed, 7 aim speed. Base accuracy is 3.5, 3.5, and 10 versus 3 and 9. It's really not worth it, is it? It's not a massive improvement, to be honest. So, aft offset. What about if we were to take away 1/10? There we go. Now we got a good balanced armor scheme. There we go. So we'll take a little bit of armor off of it. Technically, I guess we could have added some armor to it, but hey, this is about a well-balanced little ship now. We could increase the engine power and give it a little bit more, but right now it doesn't really need it. So 20 knots is probably really good um, for our engine speed. Okay, so here we have the upgraded. Which one? Which one is this? The upgraded Prince Regent Luitpold's. Very, very, very well. It's perfectly balanced. Actually, it's a perfectly balanced ship. Um, the bulkheads are still standard. We've upgraded the armor. We've upgraded the armor, so she's much better protected now, getting at 78% instead of the others. And we've definitely increased the firepower. We've taken the two side turrets, we've moved them into super firing positions fore and aft, right? And then we've upgunned. So we've gone from 105 to 150 millimeter casements, and then we've added two pairs of 88 L40s onto the side positions as well, which will give us give this ship a whole lot more firepower. And then what we can do probably as we progress is take this type of a ship and break it up into pairs and use it for zone control as we produce larger and more powerful main battleship task forces. And honestly, it's another idea I'm starting to play with. Is would it just be worthwhile to go ahead and break up all my main task forces into pairs? That's going to make naval landings a little bit more complicated, though. So I'd like to have some of my main task forces just to be concentrated for that purpose. Or maybe what I do is I break up the bigger ships into pairs and keep these guys kind of in their groups. Anyway, that's going to be a really good upgrade for the Prince Regent Luitpolds. We're not going full steam turbines yet. We haven't pushed our engine tech to the point where the multiple expansion engines are obsolete. We haven't gone there yet, but the possibility exists that we might at some point. Now, what I might do with the other ships actually is upgrade to 13 or 13.5 inch guns. We'll have to see where our tech level is on that. But it might down the road for the Siegfried class upgrade to 13-inch guns, and then just have a super firing pair forward and a single turret aft. We'll have to see how that works. I'm gonna play around with that one a little bit. The Nassaus are going to be a little bit more complex. Actually, the Nassau, I did a pretty good job of matching that to its historical, because the one funnel was directly behind the forward, the oh boy, the forward superstructure, and then the other one was kind of positioned sort of in between that hexagonal layout there. But anyway, we've got the Helgolands that are coming in sometime down the road. Not too much longer, actually, I don't think. The Helgolands are 9 months, they're 4 months, and 12. So the Helgolands are actually coming out relatively quickly. All right, they'll be around. They'll be around sooner rather than later. We've got destroyers. We've got light cruisers. Yeah, we've got ships to put back into the back into the rotation. Right? All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this next turn. And while this is loading, I'm gonna go grab some more something else to drink. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so what do we have at the beginning of this turn here? Yes, we're wow. Most of his transports are pipelining right into Ireland. So, yeah, we've got some destroyers in there, and I think what I'm gonna do. Let's see here. Sweden wants to order one of the Magdeburgs. Yeah, actually, we can do. Sweden's been a big help, so I think I'm willing to do that not quite 80%. I'll go ahead and do that for Sweden. Persia wants to buy the 15. Bulgaria wants to buy the 17. And I think what I ought to do here, what I ought to do here is move this battleship up to Dublin. I'm going to go ahead and move him up there. And this guy, I'm going to move over into here as sort of zone control. Or actually, no, I'm going to leave that light cruiser right there in the English Channel. Actually, no. Let's do this. Let's move the Condor over to Cork. Okay. And then we'll bring these two destroyers right back here and use them to plug up the channel, or at least keep a little bit of control in the channel. We're at 37%, 31% rather. It's not great. Oh, that's Ariadne coming in from Sweden, and then two of our destroyers that are wow, two transports. Okay, wow, that's poor guys. Okay, and then he's got another battleship piping up there. That how many destroy? Good lord. Um, it's really like, come on, dude, what are you doing? It's like for real, dude. What do you think you're gonna do with this? What do you think you're doing there? Anyway, we'll get to see our V-73s in action, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But what do we got for research right now? Small guns, 2 months away. Um, Actually, that would be a really nice excuse. There is a little bit of a trick you can use to improve your refit speeds. If you're not aware of it, I don't know. Maybe it's a little cheap, but at the same time, oh, that does remind me. Finances. Where are we at? We're at 13,000 tons. We might wind up doing this anyway. Oh, the auxiliary diesels are very nice. That's a very nice, very good, very great sort of an upgrade. And we've got 4 months until four-cylinder pneumatic motors are coming out, so that's going to increase our torpedo range to 5,000 meters base. Though, of course, if you use the fast propulsion, it reduces it. So it gets you something like 3.5 kilometers or something, I think, on your fast prop torpedoes, which is really actually nice, very nice. Improved reload mechanism. That would be another reason to wait and refit. Do a second refit on those ships again, which actually reminds me, because I put a refit in there, I'm not going to build any more of these Prince Regent Luitpolds. I'm going to go ahead and well, actually, I might keep that one around. Should keep that one around just in case Sweden or anybody wants to buy one. See, that's 19 1/4. The Siegfrieds are actually 19,000 tons. They're actually a lot lighter. Well, a lot. I mean, 250 tons that's a lot of weight. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and nix the Prince Regent Luitpolds though. That's it's getting close to actually being an obsolete ship design anyway. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build off of this modification. Okay, so let's see here. Go back to the world. We've got an ambush. Let's go ahead and fight this ambush. It's funny. Both of the guys that are talking about cheap viewers, it's two different profiles, but it's the same exact URL. Come on, guys. Okay, where did they go? Because I want. Um, we want our new ones. Okay, 69 and 70. Um, okay, let's go ahead and put these guys into action, shall we? Though it's stormy weather, so we're having to slow down. It might adversely affect our ability to dodge, for one. That hurt. Oh yeah. Wow. Got three more of them. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is again. This is why you don't send battleships out and about by themselves. And I only used two of those destroyers. If the battleship was more of a challenge, we could have easily sent all of them in. Well, it was unnecessary. So, anyway, okay. That's that for that battleship. Let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next turn and see where we're at on time. We might have to save stuff for the next episode. I mean, that's okay. The English can keep piping by if they want to do that. They can keep doing that. Oh, okay. Well, we've got another battle. It's a couple of, and this is probably going to be one of those where they run away, or at least try to run away. My destroyers actually could run these guys down. We'll have to see how that works out. But I think we are at about our time limit for today. So I'm going to go ahead and say. Thanks for stopping by. Those of you who did, if you're enjoying the content, if you're new to the series of Sink the Bismarck, then please give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, especially if you're enjoying the content. And anyway, yeah, as always, this is the man. I do not have my act together today, do I? As always, thanks for stopping by, folks. Off until next time.